The Regional Security System is an organization that is committed to preserving the peace and stability of its member states. Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines are the 7 countries that benefit directly from the organization's delivery of world-class professional and efficient services. This is all hinged on effective leadership. And so it is against this background that the RSS, as we call it, has had a number of participants in the Caribbean Leadership Project's Leadership Development Program. And so we're here on location at the RSS headquarters in Barbados to find out just how the project has benefited leaders in this organization, the organization on a whole, and the wider region.
The CLP firstly was introduced to me by one of my colleagues, Brian Roberts. Whenever he attended the sessions, the 1-week sessions, he came back and he started sharing his experiences, which got me very, very interested.
I was recommended by my boss at the time, Mr. Watson, and Graham. He told me a bit about the program, what it was all about, and I was interested in it and decided whether I would give it a try, and I applied.
My boss volunteered me to attend the program. In my role at work, I supervise most of the clerical staff, so I guess he wanted to help with my personal and professional development.
Well, let me say, if I may, that was an awesome program. I've done leadership training, and I never expected the program that we did to take that form in the first place.
One thing I would say that I like about the CLP is that it was not just a sit-down classroom training. You had variety. So in the training we had a movie which it was named Possibilities Are Endless. So it encouraged us to look at things different, that there's always another way. One thing don't work, try something else.
It was different. It was different in the sense that it wasn't the traditional format, tables, chairs, and it was more interactive.
Even before the interaction on the program began, I was struck with the level of preparation, the level of facilities provided, the level of persons that you interacted with.
Before we actually started, we were given a life coach for the entire year. Here we had the opportunity to sit with him from time to time, where we were able to go through some of our fears and weaknesses and strengths and see how best we can deal with that.
The coaching by the very professional staff that we had on board, they helped me throughout the entire program. It was good that we had it not just for the program, but I think we had about 6 months to a year after as well too. So that after that post program support was there, and it was very helpful as well. After completing the emotion intelligence assessment, I realized that there were some areas that I needed to work on. During that session, then you had the benefit of a coach then to go through it with you and explain your strengths, your weaknesses, and how you can improve.
The EQI really allowed me to see who I was as an individual. I thought I did, being in the military. But sitting there, the type of questions that he would have asked allowed me to do some very, very deep introspection into the type of person I am, what my purpose is in life. I remember he asking that question, what is my purpose in life? I mean, at church you'll hear that as well as, you must know your purpose in life. But I never really thought about it until CLP. My colleague, Brian, before CLP, he was like a fly, just flitting all over the place, so to speak. But after his first session on 100% listening, we saw a big difference in the way how he approached things. He would actually listen a bit more. He's able to get much more done from that specific tool?
I thought that was very instructive. The 110% listening concept that was shared through the program, and it was true. Most times we would do things and we say, oh, we're multitasking, go ahead. We can multitask, but really and truly we're missing quite a large percentage of what the person is saying to you. So what I have done since coming back from the program, or even before, is even at home or on the job, I would put down whatever I'm doing. I would give them my total attention for the period, and then I would continue after I would have dealt with that situation.
Communication is key in any exchange, and we miscommunicate so much, primarily because we do not listen. And it's one of the things that I held little sessions with my staff when I returned to make sure that they were listening. People listen just to respond. People listen and only hear what they are hearing. They don't hear what you say. Because when you're listening, there are other things going on in your mind, there are other things going on in your head. And you actually have to make an effort to listen, to really listen. And therefore, I try to remember to make that effort.
Not only here at work, but at home. I listen a little bit more to the wife and to the kids, just to make sure that I take into account what they're actually saying, not just verbally, but also the cues, those non-verbal cues that they push off from time to time.
Viewing things through different lenses. Everybody sees things differently. That's just the way we humans are. And that's coupled with the fact that there are different ways of doing things. And I remember distinctly in St. Vincent doing that as one of our interactive sessions. You'll be amazed how difficult we found just moving a ball around the room. You know, people just did that differently. But at the end of the day, everybody got it done using their way.
Dealing with the different dynamics too, of people dealing with diversity was another area that I thought too that I didn't pay much attention to before. The Thinking Six Hats, another tool that we use, and we even practice it here as well, to get the buy-in and the engagement from all staff. We want them to be able to give their views on situations and to be part of the process and not to see it as a one-man show. Especially here in this job, we're dealing with a lot of regional issues that no one person can sit down behind a desk and do it.
Having probably about 4 other persons doing CLP, it has really helped the secretariat here, the RSS headquarters here, significantly. We were able to speak the same language. We were able to come to conclusions a little bit easier. I recall a tool, the 6 Thinking Hats. We were able to use that tool to deal with complex matters.
Well, as you know, culture is very hard to change. It's slow. But I have seen changes. I have seen changes in the level of efficiency that people do things.
That has also helped us to work a little bit better with our constituents. We are able now to think a little bit wider. We would always make sure that we bring the social, psychological, the environmental, the political dimension into it, so that we get a better answer to whatever problem it is that we're looking to solve. The other tool I would say is that of strategic thinking. Basically helping others to know what their role is as a member of a team. I now recall the civic team performance model, which I found to be a pretty interesting tool. When I first was exposed to that, I wished I had known that in my former life as a soldier.
When Naval Captain Sherlin came to the organization, he brought with him quite a few changes. And as you know, change in organizations is quite difficult.
Through the years, we would have dealt or done things at RSS in one way. Now we have a new boss, and he comes technology, and he's moving forward with his technology. So some of the staff, you know, they find it hard to accept change. So we have to like gradually walk through with them and help them to accept the new changes the new boss he's come with.
It is not that people will overly resist change, but they're comfortable where they are, and therefore they're not likely to want to change, you know, just like that. I think that having other people who have done the CLP, we were able to understand those changes better than most of our other staff members. And therefore, he would have had a group of people who would buy in on those changes. I do know that particularly our executive director has been doing a lot of possibility thinking. We were comfortable doing what we did. But if you want to really exist and experience today's environment and tomorrow, you have to think about what you want to do and what are the possibilities that exist. Otherwise, you will stagnate.
Future backwards thinking, I find, is very, very important to me now here at the RSS headquarters, where you look forward into the future and then think backwards. Majority of the persons that are under my charge are young persons looking at the leadership within the RSS headquarters. Some of us are 50 and over, so on paper we don't have much more time here at the RSS headquarters. So my role right now is to create an environment for those younger persons under me to make sure that they have the tools to carry on the work here at the RSS headquarters.
Networking is a prime facility for keeping in touch, for planning, for engaging people who you know, and once you know someone, it's much easier to get something done than writing a letter. Even if you have to write a letter after, it's much easier to speak with a person who you know. And as a result of CLP, we have come to know people from all through the Caribbean who we have not have necessarily met because of our jobs.
I've had the opportunity of having a diverse amount of persons from across the region, not just here in Barbados, from across the region, who have different backgrounds. Have had the opportunity to spend a year with them and to meet other cohorts. If there is a problem as it relates to legislation, some type of law, I'm able now to pick up my phone, WhatsApp them, and ask them a specific question and get some advice. Another colleague who works in the environment, and again, I'm able to just pick up the phone and call and to get a perspective on a specific problem through his specific lens, his environmental lens. If I get the opportunity to go anywhere within the Caribbean, I can pick up the phone and call, not just for advice, but on the social setting, someone that can pick me up from the airport and we can just sit down and relax and have a drink and discuss matters. So networking is very, very important, and I would encourage anyone from CLP to come learn as much as you can and network. It would redound to your benefit in the future.